So I'll give you a quick rundown. I took all the parrot feathers for this, and I tried something I've never done, and the only time I've ever seen it mentioned or done was on Ryan Houston's channel. He had taken apart an old fly, and he mentioned that the main wings were latched together. So I thought I would try that out and see how it goes. And as you can see, I've got all the feathers right here, and I tied them all together. And what I did was I tied them all together right there in the middle. I just used some white thread, got all the feathers lined up where I wanted them, made sure they were all right tight to the tie-in point, and then I went ahead and tied them together. I don't know how well it's going to work. I don't know if it's the right way of doing it, but I figured I'd give it a try. There's a lot of thick feathers right here. As you can see right here, there's a lot to tie in. So any help I can get tying those in, I think the better off I'll be. So we want to have, get my other tools here. I want to have all of these lined up at that tie-in point. And having them all tied together actually looks like it's going to help. Boy, this is going to be interesting though. Really curious to see how all of these are going to act now. What I was talking about doing before in the other video was cutting the bottom of this giant macaw feather here and cutting it level with the hook. But I thought I would tie them all together first, see how that went, and see if I can get them to cooperate without having to cut them. I mean, they're there. They're sort of cooperating. I don't think I need to cut them along the hook. I'd like to see all this cooperate a little more up front. So let's see what's going on there real quick. Okay. That was kind of my fear with latching them together. If you look at the far side here, they've started to separate and create kind of a gap in the feather, and that's not going to be easy to hide. And then I've got some broken feathers here and that's not going to be easy to hide. I wasn't planning on having anything that came up that high. I was hoping that they would all be able to kind of marry back to their original feather, like here. And then this would go over it, covering that little knot. And that was my plan for this. And I like it, except for the fact that the other side is not going to be as pretty because that is coming apart. They've spread apart there, and I don't like that. So it's not back to the drawing board, but I'm going to take a minute and see if I can't realign these some more. I'll be right back with you folks. Alright, so here we are now. I've got the wing all set up, and I'm just going to drop this into place and then we'll take a look at it and I'll show you what I've done. I don't want to let go of it. I probably could, but I'm a little afraid of letting go of this. I've had this up here 5 or 6 times now, and I can't really mess with this anymore. The feathers have kind of taken a little bit of a beating here, and I've done a lot of moving them around, and I really think that yeah, I can't mess with them anymore. So this fly is going to have to continue on from here, and how it turns out is how it's going to turn out. That's not too bad. I'll mess with the hackle later. Let's get the Indian Crow substitute sides on. I'm gonna make sure I get the right ones. Well, kind of like that one. It's a little on the sparse side. The tips aren't quite as red, and so that's what I wanted. It's kind of just a little red tip. I didn't want anything bigger than that. And I got one more that's got the same amount of red in the tip. That'll have to be the one. Dang. I need to get these wings set in here a little better. They're moving around too much on me. Alright, I'm going to use a little bit of head cement on there. Kind of didn't want to, but I'm going to. And let that dry and come back in just a few minutes. Alright, we've allowed that head cement to dry a little bit. So let's go ahead and try and re-add these. Now it helps when you're adding feathers like these. I don't want that one. It helps when you're adding feathers like these to leave a little bit. Where'd that other one go? I'll show you. Leave a little bit right here of this, like right here at the base of where you're tying in. If you leave a little bit of that there, or trim off a little. For example, just trim off a couple of barbs. And trimming off a couple of those barbs kind of helps it a little bit from rolling, and doesn't always work very well, but it helps. Gives the thread a little something more to hang on to. Back here still wants to roll a little. That's better. Let's use some tweezers to adjust those a little. Prop them up in place a little more. I think I'm going to go and put a hurl head on this one. I'm going to try for a bigger, fuzzier one. First I got to try to get rid of some of the bulk that's built up there, some of those stems. For that, I'm just going to grab a newer razor blade. And I'm going to cut some of them off. But I'm not going to cut them all off just yet. I just want to expose that hook point so I know where I have to end. And then what I'm going to do is build up a little bit of a base to wrap the hurl head around, and then we'll get started on that. And then we'll trim the head completely after I've built the hurl head. Reason being, I don't want to have that hurl slip off the front. And you cut those off, then your thread, as I'm trying to build this flat spot up for that hurl, you can wind up having your thread slip off and then the hurl slips off, and it's no fun. So it's easier to just put their hurl head on and then trim it if you can. That's not to say that I don't trim, that I do this every time, because I don't. I guess it just depends on the situation. And in this case with this fly, I really just don't want to take much chance. Should I or should I not do horns? Let's look. I don't know that I've got horns that would look good. That would be long enough to look good on this. I think long horns for this would be very nice, but here we are. You know, this is just part of the process. Investigate, try things out, see what we can find. That's longer, but it's not. No, I don't think I've got anything long enough. How about would an Amherst horn look too out of place? I think so. Yeah, no on the Amherst. I think I will I'll try putting in a horn. Boy, that's just not very long. Sorry for boring you guys with just checking out the fly right now. Nothing else going on. Let's see. How about a... No. There, you guys are listening to my thought process here in the background. Let's try this one. Now what you can do for these, so that's what I'm going to do, is you can curl them. You take your macaw tail feather piece and you use your thumbnail and you ride your thumbnail along it and that'll curve it. And you can shape those and stick those onto either fly. I've never used the curled horn method before, so that again, another first. We never know unless we take chances. Try new things. This whole fly is, well, it's not entirely new things, but there's a lot of new to it. There we go, that's about where I wanted it. And now for the other, about the same size. Yeah, I'm probably adding these a little late. Should have done them before I started working on the head, but oh well. Last minute decisions. sure many of you fly tiers know the feeling when you're holding your breath at the end of a tie, waiting for something to work out. I'm holding my breath kind of doesn't work well for me. Okay, that one you see is a bit too curved. So we're going to just take some of that curve back out of it. And again, just stroke that with your thumbnail. And that'll take that right out. Let's try this. And see if I can switch sides. No, it doesn't want to switch sides, so I'll just keep it as is. That's okay with me. A lot of times you see them with the blue edge up. I'm trying that here, but it didn't seem to want to cooperate that way. So I just tie them in the way that they want to cooperate. Typically upside, this is kind of upside down from how it's usually tied in with most flies. Come on now. There we go, that's the right way. Stay though. I'm just shortening this one a little bit to make it match the length in the other one, since the other one is shorter as is. There we go. Alright, the rest will be preening after the completion. Now, let's go back to the hurl head. Once again, a little bit more wax. Excuse me. And for the hurl head, I'm going to use the same loop trick I've used before, for those of you who haven't seen it. Basically just take a piece of thread, doesn't matter, any kind, and in this case I'm just using some regular black, and you tie that in on the underside of the hook. Now make sure you get all the twist out of it too. You don't want it to twist up at all, you want it to stay with a nice open loop. And you want to have that tied in as close to the back of the head as possible. So right up next to the hackle on the underside. And then grab your ostrich hurl, which for this I'm going to use let me try some of this here. It's a little bit larger. It's a little bit fuzzier. I think for a nice big fly like this, a bigger head would be nice. So let's I like the looks of this one. We'll take that, strip away at the end, and just take the tail end of this and get it up out of the way. Okay, so I wound up running out of storage space at the end of the fly, and the camera wound up cutting off the hurl head. So I'm really sorry about that, everyone. The majority of the fly is there, though, and you guys did get to see the majority of the process. I'll do another video on tying the wings together and how I did that, because that was a little bit of a process, and that took some time as well. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, think about subscribing. I am going to have more stuff out every week, and there's going to be some more fun flies and some really nice ties coming up in the future. So for now, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this. Later this afternoon, I'll be giving away the fly. I'm going to do it at about 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to try to do that live. So I'm not giving away this fly, though. It'll be the Delta Wing fly, just so we're clear. But I will be doing that live. So if you are not entered for that, there's still a chance to get entered. All you got to do is go over to the video that is for the 150 subscriber giveaway and leave your name in the comments below. And then I will be drawing the winner this afternoon. So I really hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll zoom in on the fly real quick for you one more time. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I really hope that you guys learned a little bit of something. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Take care. Tight lines.